Hello viewers, I am Dr. Gabriel Onyekuru. I am the director of the Marvin Academy, Sabonlugwe on Airport Road, Abuja, and also the founder of Emi Noberton International Schools, Port Harcourt. I am the author of this book, MAEZE, Returning from America. I welcome you all to this presentation going on today. May God bless you. This book is actually for us all, as a student, as a parent, as an immigrant, as a citizen, whether you are a government official, you are a political leader, we are all writing or bringing our ideas together on how to make this country a great country, how to make Africa a better place for us all. This book is about MAEZE. It's actually about the life of a Nigerian or about the life of an African. MAEZE is just a character that is used to tell the story. The life of a man from childhood to adulthood. The dreams, the determination, the challenges of life that we are facing every day in our life, in our nation, in our continent, the entire world. Many people may not know, so that we have to let those who do not understand what goes on beyond them or outside their own environment to understand better. MAEZE grew up in a very humble background. He had that dream to be distinguished. Kind, quiet, gentle lifestyle. And he reasoned, he saw them, they all had one thing in common. Education. They seemed to be trained abroad by the way they conducted themselves around the society. And he just picked on there that this is how I would like to live my life in the future. Even from that humble background, like we have in aspirational psychology. When you dream about something, everything about you will pursue that aspiration. And in that course, you achieve your life aspiration. MAEZE thought about being somebody who is educated, not giving in to the fact that he came from that background. He wasn't sure he could afford the education, because there was no financial strength to continue his secondary education at that time. The university education. He went into the world of work. Innocent young person of 17 or 18 years, a teenager. But he realized at the end of the day that what he thought was the world of work wasn't exactly that. As a citizen, he thought he could just start work, be loyal, dedicated, and achieve his dreams. Along the line, he found out that there were so many discrimination and oppression, inequalities that were going on. So he felt, he understood it in a very strong form that is not what he thought when he was young.
Good morning to you, sir, and welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Good to have you on the program today. Returning from America, MAEZE. What's this book all about?
Well, this book is about the life of a Nigerian. As a child, as a young man growing up, somebody who has worked in Nigeria, transiting to the West, United States, living there, returning to Nigeria, the life, the good things, the bad things, we can learn from, we can correct from as a Nigerian, as a citizen. That's about the book.
Okay, so I guess it's just the everyday story of a Nigerian who is wanting to go to that proverbial land of milk and honey, that's flowing with milk and honey.
You know how it is here with us. Everybody is dreaming big, and we seem to want to go to America, everybody, which is good. Usually, the the dream you have propels you as a person. And whatever you think as a child has an influence and an impact on your life and where you get to. One, self-motivation is important. Dream is important. A positive one indeed is the best you can. But some people who have gone through that route, you can still learn something from them. I think that's the story about MAEZE, a young man from a very remote area of the country, lacking in basic things of life, but had a good dream. The big dream is he used to see some uncles and visitors who lived in the big cities in the country come to the remote village. He saw their conduct, their demeanor, and he thought that is the life he wanted to live. Not because they had big money, but the calm nature, they approached things and people, and that was his dream.
Which just basically came from the exposure and the being enlightened, so to speak.
That's right. They seem to have this touch of people living, respecting every other person around them, which wasn't really common amongst the people they live with in the rural communities.
Okay.
Especially those who had little money, the way exhibitionism and all that. So he kind of got something from them and dreamed to live like them, and that propelled him. So from that little village, he got into the city eventually. From a very poor background, he got a job, a very low job for that nature, but he kept his dream working.
Okay. Without spoiling it too much for those who haven't read the book and who will be wanting to read the book, what is the real lesson you try to pass, the real message you try to pass from this book?
The lesson is you got to have that determination to succeed in life.
Okay.
You got to work hard to succeed. You got to avoid violence. You got to avoid crime. You got to avoid abuses, and let's be courageous inside you that you're going to succeed. But then you need Christ ultimately. You need God to help you to succeed. The happiness and all the things you think about life, you have to get this spiritual strength from God, and read the Bible, get to understand what some people who succeeded over there too, and try to emulate that would be more helpful for you.
I guess this will be quite instructive, especially in the times we find ourselves. I mean, just not too long ago, we were inundated with stories coming out of Libya of Nigerians sold into slavery. Modern day slavery. There was actually a video of people being sold, like how it used to be back in the day. And also we heard the story of 26 young Nigerians who allegedly died, in the high seas, all trying to sojourn into, greener pastures.
The story has a two-way approach. Guess you want to ask for the question?
Yeah, because, you mentioned something about talking about hard work to success. And I was almost going to say, that might sound quite relative to some people. How do you even really define success? Are we talking in terms of material success? So what exactly, what is the weight, what's the full import?
That's what we are talking about. The success, you define it. MAEZE, as a young man, seen a lot of people around him, but he took away that aspect of people he felt conducted themselves very well when they mixed with people, living a very gentle, peaceful life, relating well with people. I think that's what he picked out, and that's what he defines as his own success.
Okay.
So he worked towards arriving there, and that's, if he gets there, that is the success. That's what gives him peace. And now talking about our people going to Europe, trying to access through Northern Africa and Sahara, without Sahara.
Illegally, though.
Illegally, they are deceived. The lesson is that is not the only way you can succeed in life. That is one. And for those who are our leaders here, they also should learn something from there. What is it that, even in spite of all the deaths, all the travels that people, we've been reading about people dying on the Sahara Desert, in the sea, trying to cross to Europe, and yet people are going. What is it? We have to try to do something to also help our citizens, feel that there is a place here for them. Because there is nothing substantial for them to hold, to help in putting food on the table for their family. They seem to believe that there's something out there they can get that from. And so no matter what happens, they are crossing. But when we put something here, like we've been talking about the issue of power in this country, we're talking about lack of electricity. If there's electricity, little money, people can buy little tools, stay in their houses and do something and earn a living. Nobody will want to go and suffer himself with all the tragic ends that we have seen over time, with all the bad weather that we have learned about Europe and the West. We still want to go there because we don't seem to have gotten a little bit of the basic things working for us here. So I think we should also learn. Those who are in leadership positions should learn from there. And for those too who are aspiring to go over there, they should also learn that the tragic things that happen on the way is always there. And you can't just get it illegally. You have to work hard
for it,
yes,
to achieve that success.
That's right.
All right, so if you're just tuning in, we're speaking with an author this morning. He's Gabriel Onyekuru, the author of the book MAEZE, Returning from America.
So I thank you for coming around and being here with us. I hope you take something away with this and be a teacher when you go out there and tell the story. This is the story of MAEZE told by Dr. Gabriel Onyekuru. As scholars, we welcome criticisms and we welcome people making input into our own work, and we believe that this is how we have done our own. One could also do his own in his own way, but we are all working towards how to make this place a better place for all of us. Thank you for coming and God bless you.